Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be visiting Opéra Garnier in Paris. So, on y va!
It was built for the Paris Opera from 1861 to 1875 at the order of Emperor Napoleon III. It soon became known as the Palais Garnier in acknowledgement of its extraordinary opulence and the architect Charles Garnier.
So we are just waiting for our guide.
The building is an excellent representation of the Napoleon III style. It was the primary theatre of the Paris Opera and its associated Paris Opéra Ballet until 1989, when a new opera house, the Opéra Bastille, opened at the Place de la Bastille. The theatre has been a monument historique, or historic monument, since 1923.
Palais Garnier is considered as one of the most famous and opulent opera houses in the world. It is also a symbol of Paris, along with the Notre Dame Cathedral, Louvre, and Sacré-Cœur Basilica. Its fame is at least partly due to its use as the setting for Gaston Leroux's 1910 novel, The Phantom of the Opera, and especially the novel's subsequent adaptations in films and the popular 1986 musical. The grand staircase was the place of spectacle before the actual play in the main auditorium. Here, Garnier set the scene for the guests to be seen and put on a show with the luxurious architecture set in the backdrop worth their social and economic status. The Napoleon III style was highly eclectic and borrowed elements from the Baroque, the Classicism of Palladio, and Renaissance architecture. It was the most expensive building to construct during the Second Empire. I can say this is my second favorite place after Versailles. Overall, it was a great experience for me. I didn't expect this gallery. Literally, it was just stunning. I mean, no wonder it was inspired by Versailles. I love it.
First thing, when you come to Opera, come a little bit early because they're a little bit funny at the entrance. The tour takes you through the building itself. As Sinan already described, it's absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous. My favorite place is definitely the salle de spectacle, the actual salle where the plays happen. One funny thing, I knew this already before, but they mentioned it during the tour as well, is that Charles Garnier, when the building was finished, he was not even invited for the inauguration, so he had to buy his own ticket. But when he was there, at the end of the spectacle, the president at that time gave him the medal for the fantastic job that has been done, and of course he had a standing ovation in there. It was just a full triumph of his work. Another point about Opera is that it was financed and it was initially, it was a project under Napoleon III. But it just so happens that at that time, France lost the Prussian War and Napoleon III had to be exiled to the UK. So he never saw the actual building completed. The building itself came under the threat of being demolished, but then they calculated it and they decided that it's too expensive to actually bring it down, so they kept it.
One interesting thing, there are different loges, different rooms, and there is no handle. You only enter with a key. It's because of the privacy, and each loge can accommodate maximum 6 people.
This is not my first time in this building. I was actually here for a fashion show of Schiaparelli back in 2019. It was, 2019. And we went in through this entrance, the main one. But for the visit, you have to go to the left side. There is a separate entrance from that. One other thing that I wanted to add about the building is that because of the natural water reserve that the area had or has, there was this genius idea of Garnier. What he came up with under the actual stage, he created a reservoir which is 15, I think, meters deep, and it was genius idea. Why? Because basically it collects the water there, and in case there is a fire, they would use that water to put it out. Because as you know, until electricity was, discovered, not invented but discovered, everything was lit up either by candles and later by gas. The risk of fire was so great. The guide actually told us that the ballerinas, back in the day, the dancers used to catch fire with their skirts, so that's why the ballerinas have such small, tiny skirts. That way they wouldn't catch the fire. Crazy! I did not know. I had no idea. So thank you so much for joining us. If you like our content, please don't forget like, share, and subscribe. And until next one. Au revoir.